Great morning, holy brothers! Thank you very much for joining us on our pathway to peace inside the Garden of Peace. If you're following along, we're on page 172, and today's lesson is called Worldly Wisdom. That's right. We got to take up from everywhere around us and use the good for the ultimate benefit for ourselves and everybody else around us. We have another shy guy off the camera on the side, but we're going to start. Buckle up. Here we go. Even great rabbis and Torah scholars with vast knowledge in different branches of the Torah itself sometimes do not understand why they should need marital guidance, especially when those giving guidance may be far less learned than they are in other areas of Torah. The answer to these rabbis comes from the teaching of Ben Zoma in Ethics of the Fathers, chapter 4. Who is the wise man? One who learns from everyone. As it says, from all those who taught me, I became wise. Psalms 119. Imagine a person with a heart problem going to the world's leading expert on eye ailments. The latter would have no shame in referring the person to somebody else like a heart specialist who can help him specifically in that area to the greatest capacity, since he recognizes that his knowledge of the heart complaints is very limited and pales in comparison to the other experts. Nobody would ever look down upon him for this. One might be an outstanding Torah scholar, but yet know very little about how to live peacefully with a wife. He shouldn't be ashamed to consult an expert in the field of marital peace, even though the latter might be much less learned in him when it comes to areas of the Talmud or anything else. Arrogance is the main reason that a person is not willing to accept guidance and proper direction to invest efforts in marital success. A person's arrogance, his selfishness, his haughtiness makes him feel that everything is fine by me. What you talking about? I'm cool. It's chill. We're good. And that others are the ones who need to change. Almost all the problems of peace in the home stem from a lack first of knowledge. Meaning, if the people would have had the know-how and got the proper guidance, then problems never would have occurred. Seeking the knowledge is a sign that a person at least desires to improve himself. Perfection of creation. The purpose of creation can only be realized through shalom bayis and peace in a home. It makes no difference what other mitzvahs people are doing in this world or the service of God that he engages in without peace in the home. If that is missing between a husband and a wife in this lowly world, Hashem has not achieved the purpose for which he created the world, as we will explain. At the creation of man, it says in the Bible, in the beginning, in Bereshit, and God created man in his image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Genesis 1:27. From here we see that someone who is not even married is not yet called a man. For it was only when male and female were united together as one that they were called that in himself, that he was referred to as a man. Because a man without a woman, or a woman without a man, does not have the status of that name. In a similar vein, the Zohar writes, any form that does not contain both male and female aspects is not a supernal form. For the supernal form about which it is said, in the image of God, he created him, was both male and female. Where there is no unity of that male and female, meaning that there is no love between them, there is no unity, there is no connection, there is no coming together. For the word love in Hebrew, ahava, has the same numerical value as the Hebrew word of echad, which means one, the unity and coming together. For then there is no divine image. The Zohar adds, wherever male and female are not found together in unity, Hashem does not bestow his divine presence or dwelling into that place. A man could be the most righteous person in the world, but as long as there's no unity between him and his wife, Hashem will not dwell in his home. The Midrash writes, not a man without a woman, and not a woman without a man, and not both of them without divine presence gluing them together. A man without a woman, or a woman without a man, is literally no thing, nothing. What's more, both of them together, but without the divine presence, are also nothing. If they do not have peace in the home, the divine presence is not there between them. But once they merit to have pure peace in their holy home, the divine presence will be resting between them. There will be glue holding everything together, and then it will be pure perfection. Moshe Cordovero of blessed memory writes, it is a simple fact that the divine presence does not rest within a man who lives without a wife. The divine presence, divinity, dwells in a household primarily by virtue of the wife. From this short collection of teachings, we can understand why creation cannot realize its purpose of perfection without peace in the home. The purpose of creation, that Hashem's desire was to have a dwelling place in the lower worlds, of having heaven on earth here. In other words, down in this lowly physicality of the world. Since he only rests his divinity, his divine presence in the world of homes, that true unity and love are found, then peace in the home must be a necessary element of the purpose of creation then to be achieved. And without it, nothing. In Bereshit 2:18, it is not good for man to be alone. A man who does not marry certainly does not fulfill the purpose of creation. The divine presence rests only in a place where there is male and female. A bachelor, however righteous he may be, is unable to bring that divinity down into this world. Therefore, many great tzaddikim who were widowed late in their lives immediately remarried, despite the fact that they could have lived without a wife and may have been less hindered, may have had more time to study Torah and not be distracted by somebody else. When his first wife died, Rav Nachman of Breslov made his merit protect us, quickly remarried. He remarked that if not for embarrassment, he would have remarried immediately after the month of mourning for his first wife was over. Since the Torah says it is not good for a man to be alone, he wanted to minimize the time that he had the status of not being good. Even once a man is married, he has still not fulfilled his obligation in realizing the purpose of creation until he has absolute, perfected peace in his home. The couples that live in conflict and dissension fail to fulfill the purpose of creation, and they're blemishing their souls. That divine presence waits to descend upon them, but it cannot. The conflict between them causes conflict and separation in the higher worlds, God forbid. Only when a person marries and has true peace in the home, and he has harmony with his wife, and not just a ceasefire or a lull in hostilities, can the world reach its perfection. Hashem will want to dwell in such a home. Their peace and love, therefore, invokes Hashem's presence, and this in turn brings most bountiful blessings and abundance to the entire world. And in all virtue of the wonderful husband and wife that dwell in the place with each other, just like two brothers that we spoke about earlier in the story, that they want to both to give each other because they're both lacking something. So we have to understand and conclude that every husband must become aware that he really does have to learn longly about it and invest effort to attain true peace in his home. Even one who thinks he has already invested and achieved should know that he may have no idea what the heck true peace in the home actually means. As we said, we're not talking about a ceasefire, not talking about a peace treaty, not, oh my gosh, today I was amazing to your wife. But what happened the past week and month? What has been going on there? Peace in the homes means absolute unity and loyal love, where it equals oneness. The need for guidance about how to achieve peace in the home is disputable. Peace in the home is not like any other mitzvah. It's a mitzvah that the whole purpose of creation depends upon. Psalm 89 says, the world is built by loving kindness. If the home is a microcosm of the world without, we can also say the home is also built by loving kindness, of course. In Ethics of Fathers, we are told, on three things the world stands: on Torah, study, on the service of God, and loving kindness. Torah, Avodah, and Gemilas Chasadim. Acts of loving kindness are what sustain both the home and the entirety of the world. A man can be the kindest person, helping widows, helping orphans, and be extremely charitable, giving to every possible organization his donations. But if he doesn't do acts of loving kindness for his wife, then all the kindness to others are worth nothing. Nada, zilch, zero. Loving kindness to strangers that's coupled with neglect inside his home is not the type of loving kindness that sustains anything, let alone the world. The loving kindness of a husband that sustains and builds the world is only what she does after he has been so kind to his wife, after he's fulfilled all her needs and all her wants and what makes her happy. Once he has concerned himself with her needs, so that she is lacking nothing and is truly wholly happy and actually concretizingly content. If then he tends to the needs of others, there is no end to the reward that will be given and received in his home and the entirety of the world around him. So remember, everything, but especially charity, starts in the home. Make sure we can fulfill everybody's desires, needs, wants, and love, what it means to give to another person, make our home a super special place so we can bring God's divinity down into our home and then be able to correct and enhance the world around us to bring His Shekhinah, His royalty for the absolute ultimate redemption speedily in our days. And with that, have an awesome, audaciously amazing rest of your day. Dun, da, da, da.